being a badass and knowing how to not give a fuck is genuinely the most important part of spirituality. It doesn't matter how much practice you do and how much energy you take in if that energy then goes out again. And if you know how to be a complete badass and not give zero fucks, then the little energy your body produces naturally, the little prana you actually accumulate naturally, will be enough to awaken you if you don't waste it whatsoever. It takes an hour of daily practice of yoga and meditation and pranayama to actually build energy, and it takes maybe 15 minutes of being in a low vibration environment or entertaining doubts, hatred, etc., or being near energy vampires, or having a shitty job, or doing anything that lowers your vibration. The most important part of spirituality is simply that you don't lower your vibration, that you don't waste energy, that you don't leak energy, and that you don't let the world take your energy. Fundamentally, negative emotions are unproductive. And Earth is fundamentally a plane of existence where negativity exists. In heaven, in higher dimensions, there are only positive emotions. There are no negative energies. Deities and astral beings literally do not feel hate, they do not feel guilt, they do not feel shame. If Jesus was on Earth, do you think he would entertain doubts? If Shiva came to Earth and he had people hating on him, do you think he would let that get to him? Deities do not feel negative emotions, straight up. If you want to transcend Earth, if you want to develop spiritually, and if you want to incarnate into higher dimensions, then you have to separate yourself from negative emotions. You have to learn to, quite frankly, not care. When people hate on you, then you have to learn to not give a fuck. You have to learn to detach from it. And what that looks like in practical terms is being a spiritual badass. People who know how to not care, people who are badasses, even just in pop culture, even just in movies or even in life, you always feel a natural attraction towards them. A person who knows what to care about and not care about is something we inherently feel attracted towards and something we inherently value. Because there is a very deep spiritual and energetic meaning behind it. People who are badasses, people who know how to not give a fuck, are people who know what to care about. And that is divine. Being a badass is divine. There isn't a single deity, there isn't a single astral being that isn't a badass. There isn't a god that has social anxiety. There isn't a god of shame and guilt. There isn't a god that doubts itself. That does not fucking exist. Every single deity is a badass. And quite arguably, the most important thing you can do as a spiritual person is learning how to not give a fuck. Because it doesn't matter how much practice you do, if you give a fuck about the news and you turn on your TV and you watch the war in Ukraine and now you get sad, then that's your energy gone. If you go on Instagram and some basement dweller dropped a mean comment and you get sad, then that's your energy gone. If you go online and you read some random celebrity drama and now you're angry at that celebrity, then that is your energy gone. Whenever you have negative emotion, that leaks your energy. As a spiritual person, arguably the most important spiritual practice you can learn is literally how to not give a fuck. And of course, give a fuck about the things that matter, care about the things that do matter, about your friends, about your family, about your purpose, about love, and about spirituality. But realize that on Earth, 98% of life is drama. And that drama you have to tune out of. That drama you have to learn how to ignore. If you give a fuck about everything, if you don't know how to shield yourself from negative energy, then you cannot grow. So be a badass. Learn how to not give a fuck, because that is arguably the most important spiritual pursuit. And if you don't learn how to not give a fuck, then nothing else matters. You can do yoga for 10 hours a day, but if you then spend 2 hours scrolling TikTok and wasting your energy, then it's game over. Bless you, and be a badass.